All right, look, there is gear that I absolutely regret acquiring, whether it was given to me, I bought it, or whatever. And I want to just try to help guide you to not make the same mistakes that I did. And some of these are pretty predictable, but some of them you wouldn't even guess. The first one has to be the compromise purchase. Let me give you an example. All right, so here we have one of my favorite purchases that I made. This is the Tactile Knife Company. This is their Bear Magna Cut blade steel, slip joint. I think it looks really good. It's just a dope, very, very nice looking knife. But this thing does not fit my workflow. Slip joint is hard to open one-handed. It's just not really something that I go for very much. Whereas something with like what I normally carry, which is a crossbar lock, whether it's by Benchmade or it's by Three Rivers Manufacturing, it's by whoever. I prefer this because when I'm breaking down boxes, opening up packages, doing any type of work, it's a lot easier for me to work with this one-handed. It may not have the same great blade steel with S30V, or maybe it's only a D2, similar to like this Chavez knife right here. But you know what? I like it a lot better for my workflow. And I didn't realize that because sometimes on paper you can get yourself just really in a bind thinking to yourself, I need the best. I need the one that's going to have the best specs on paper, the best blade steel on paper, the best cutting edge or whatever. And as much as I like the Bear knives, I mean, I bought two of them with my own money. These things are fantastic. These are really good for like going out when you have a lot more deliberate time on your hands. So the compromise purchase is something that I definitely would avoid you getting altogether. Now the next one's going to be the perfect piece of kit. Perfect piece of kit, whether I got gear acquisition syndrome, watching YouTube videos, watching some of my favorite content creators, just seeing this stuff in different places, I ended up acquiring something that had the best materials, or it was the best for any job that you had. And come to find out, I could have got the job done for significantly cheaper or less. Here's the perfect example of that. This is the GoRuck GR2 Dyneema. This thing has premium materials. Dyneema is 15 times stronger than steel, meaning when I go rucking, it's probably less likely I have to worry about scratching or getting holes in the back when I walk through the woods and branches and stuff like that. But I use this eBay stock Romad much more for rucking purposes, and this literally costs half the price of the Go Ruck, and probably just it feels better, it wears better. That one has better materials. It just doesn't really fit my workflow, and so as we get sucked down a rabbit hole, thinking like, okay, well this Go Ruck is American made, it has a Scars warranty, it's Go Ruck. I mean, everybody loves a Go Ruck, right? Whereas this Eberly stock really does get the job done. I love wearing this bag. It has so many features that I didn't think I needed until I got my hands on it. And so you can go down a rabbit hole of trying to find the perfect piece of kit, and then you find out it's not so perfect after all. This could have to do with anything from a bag to a knife to a piece of prep kit or whatever. Just try to avoid going down that rabbit hole because, yeah, I went down it quickly. The next one is probably going to be redundant gear. We all have redundant gear. We all buy it or acquire it somehow, and we all don't need it. And I fall right into the same trap. That's what happened with me when it came down to watches. I ended up acquiring this Benrus Type 1C. I love it. It's fantastic. But you know what? Sometimes you get that piece of redundant gear because you think it's going to do something just a little bit better than something you already have, similar to today's video sponsor, which is Veer and their C5 Tactical Field Watch. This watch, just a little bit different, right? But it's a little bit harder for me to read on the fly because, of course, the indices don't have numbers on them. Whereas my C5 Tactical Field Watch from Veer is everything that I needed it to be, and I didn't realize it. Of course, it comes with the quartz movement. It's much more affordable, and this thing comes with 2 watch straps, and this thing's assembled in America, which I didn't think I needed overall. Sometimes the redundancy is something that you don't need to worry about grabbing for yourself because something like this is a piece of kit that can last for years, versus just trying to buy something that just makes it that much better. I think you should check this out much more than trying to find the perfect piece of kit or redundancy in a watch. Shout out to Veer for sponsoring today's video. Check them out with the links down below. All right, this next one is going to be gear for future me. Listen, we all buy something thinking, hey, in the future, I'm going to start doing this. I'm going to start riding this bike a lot more. Let me go all out and buy that dope ass mountain bike. I'm going to start rucking. So let me go buy the best balls to the wall bag that I can find. I'm going to start being an expert shooter. I'm going to get the best AR, or it could be tools. I ended up spending a bag on a whole lot of tools that I don't use as often as I would like. So I told myself I was going to do a lot more work to my truck. I ended up getting a 3/4 inch socket, and I got all the bits that goes along with it. And I just completely went balls to the wall and got everything that I thought I was going to need to work on my truck. Come to find out, I mostly use 3/8 or sometimes 1/2 inch, but those 3/4, unless I'm like dropping an axle of a vehicle or something like that, maybe doing some actual axle work on my truck, those don't get touched very often. So I got those for future me, which I don't recommend that you do. Maybe rent the stuff in the future, and that can go for some of your prep gear as well. Even like future you for travel purposes. Now, I have this fantastic travel bag that I have from Pelican, which I use pretty often, but this thing's gonna cost you 600 bucks. Whereas if you were to just get something that if you don't travel very often, you may not want to acquire something like that. So you're getting this future piece of kit, not realizing that it's not necessarily going to be for you. But what should you do instead? Here's what I do from now on, just to think about if I'm going to buy a new piece of kit. I ask myself 3 questions. Is it going to reduce friction? Is it going to make me better prepared for anything that I have going on, whether it's everyday carry or prep? And is it going to fit in my current workflow? If I don't get a yes on all 3 of those questions, I don't buy the piece of kit, or I give the piece of kit away. That makes life a lot easier. So if I'm thinking about buying a new knife, thinking about getting a new bag, a keyboard, or whatever, is it going to reduce friction? Well, possibly. Am I going to break down boxes more efficiently? Am I going to open packages more efficiently if I'm trying to do a task? Is it going to make me more efficient? Or if I'm buying a new camera or whatever, is it going to make me better prepared? If I buy that new Pelican case, is it going to make it easier for me to make make life easier? Possibly, but not necessarily something I have to do immediately. Those are normally ifs, maybe, I don't know. And I ended up not getting that new piece of kit. I've saved myself a ton of money by not doing those things. And so as we go into 2026 and years beyond, things I regret buying or acquiring slowly reduce. I'm always calling a neighbor or calling a buddy or shipping shit off to somebody I know, because I'm like, you know what, I should have paused and pumped my brakes before I acquired that so quickly. But what is something that you regret buying, whether you saw it on a YouTube channel like somebody like me, or you just got it because you saw it at Ace Hardware and you decided to pull the trigger? I would love to know with your comments down below. First time stopping by, hit the subscribe button. I would love to have you part of the battalion. If this is not your first time stopping by, well, thank you once again for watching me run my grape. For everyone else, we'll speak soon.